Hey gorgeous creative friends, today I'm sitting out in my garden because as you know it's warming up here in Australia, in Victoria, and today in this video I'm going to be painting these beautiful gum leaves, eucalyptus gum leaves that I have picked from my river walk yesterday and I brought them home. I'm going to use actual live gum leaves for reference, so if you like the look of what this looks like, please join me in the video. So I went for a little river walk yesterday near my house, and I picked up these beautiful gum leaves that are on the ground. And here in Australia, eucalyptus gums are the most common sort of species, and there are lots of species of gum leaves or eucalyptus trees around, but I think these are from the red gum, or they're called mana gums. I don't know. Let me know in the description if you know more about Australian eucalyptus leaves, but I just love the shape of them, and every time I go for a walk I get really inspired because well, firstly from the way they just fall on the ground, the way the the leaves are spread around the path. It is like someone composed these this composition of how the leaves fall, but it's not, it's just nature. It's just nature's way of expressing, and it's such a beautiful sort of thing that we can learn from nature, right, in terms of art and composition and all of that. So anyway, another thing I love about these leaves are all the colors, obviously. So I tend to pick the ones that are pink. They're not all pink, obviously, but I'm really drawn to the pink ones because I love the way it glows and the way it stands out. So I have more pink than green ones, but I do have a couple of green ones. And today's painting, I will just use these leaves as inspiration, and I will just be painting a sort of like eucalyptus leaves inspired patterny type painting on this bigger block of paper. I just had quite a rough week with some not so positive news about a friend, and I won't go into detail, but I just feel like this week's video will be really just me painting these leaves. And she really loved the river walks and the Australian native flora. She lived in this valley here for 23 years, and yeah, I'm just gonna commemorate my friend with this video and this painting. And yeah, so I'm not sure how it's gonna turn out, but I'm not gonna use all of them, obviously. I'm just gonna space them out a bit. Oh, I just love this one as well. This one is like a darker maroon one. And I'm just gonna use these leaves as inspiration. So let's dive right into the painting. All right, let's talk supplies. Firstly, the paper. I'm using my Academy watercolor paper pad, 15 by 10, 100% cotton, cold press. This is also by the brand Meeden, and if you want a 10% off, you can check out the link in the description below. I'm affiliate partner of Meeden Art, and Meeden and Academy are sister companies, so you will get the exact same beautiful watercolor quality of Academy when you purchase from Meeden Art. So I'll be using this today, and I'll be doing it in landscape. For my brushes, I feel I'll be using my size 10 silver black velvet because this will create a beautiful smooth sort of like gum leaf shape, pretty sure. And using my usual palette of paints, I'll be using lots of green, lots of red, bit of brown, and we'll see how we go. And all of this can be found in my description below in the link. Right, let's get started straight away. And I just love the shape. I mean, just look at it. Some of them are a perfect arch. Some of them have a slighter curve. Some of them curve this way and that. And I mean, seriously, nature, right? It's really no words sometimes. So let's just start painting. Gonna start with maybe this one here. This one's got a bit of an orangey red tint, so I'm gonna mix up a bit of Scarlet Lake, a bit of burnt umber. Of course, I sprayed down all my paint to activate it a little bit. A bit of dragon's blood, because that's kind of like a dragon bloody type. Right, get a nice pool going, starting from the tip and press. Then I'm gonna drop in some burnt umber on the edges. I'm seeing splotches of green as well, so grabbing a bit of my green. I have sap green, olive green, just dropping it. Maybe a bit of Payne's Gray. And you know, you never know what you're gonna, how it's gonna turn out. So this is a really beautiful practice in just play and experimentation. I got some of this really bright yellow. I'm fascinated with this yellow. This yellow is Mission Gold's Quinofalone Yellow Light, and it is bright as. I love it. It's almost neon, but still quite warm. You know, sometimes neon can be a little bit too cool, yeah. And I do like my paints. I do like warmth. I'm just gonna dot a little bit more darker green into this first leaf here, and maybe I just feel like it's a bit more orangey than maroon, but it's okay. It's my first leaf, and I'm just going to let it just be what it is. Feeling like this brush might be a little bit too fat, so I'm gonna size it down to my size 8 now for the next one. Like this one here. Let's just do this one. This one's more of a green, so just mixing some green. To get this like smoky, ashy green, gonna bit of burnt umber into that sap green and a touch of blue, touch of Prussian blue. Okay. More blue. Oh, maybe that was a bit too much blue. Prussian blue. And you just don't forget that this is meant to be relaxing. And I love also how like these leaves have little bite marks, like I don't know what are these, like insect bites or just these tiny imperfections that are really tricky to get in your painting because, you know, the brush don't normally have these effects that you can just grab. So we can, especially in my loose style. I mean, I'm not a realistic, I don't do realism very much. I like to do it loose. So how do we get the imperfections in loose? That's something I always like to, okay, I like to just connect that, and I like how this connects with this other, maybe slightly longer leaf. With no goal or intention. I mean, of course, you are hoping to end up with a cute painting. I always do. But, you know, And of course, because I make YouTube videos, I know that I will hopefully have a decent product, which is a video that I can post here on YouTube, and that I can share a bit of my journey and how I got to the painting. I'm gonna get a mix of burnt umber with Payne's Grey to get like a dark brown, to just drop more brown, less grey, to just drop this into the wet on wet, to give it more of that character. I swapped to a littler brush now as well. I think this is a size 2 Princeton Snap. I like this slightly fatter one now, and I'm realizing I am feeling a yellow ochre vibe here. So grabbing some yellow ochre, mixing it with a bit of that green. Grabbing a bit of burnt umber. And dropping a bit of green in the middle here, because we see that happening. Turning my brush around, let's see what happens when I make a line through there. That's kind of cool. That is actually pretty cool. So I will come back and do a second layer, all right? So this is just the first layer. I don't know how much of that second layer I will do, but try that down here too. Yes, it's still possible. Okay. All right, a couple of pink ones. I love these pink ones. They just grab me. Right, they just totally, maybe these two here. Getting a bit of Quin Rose or Permanent Rose in a lot of the brands. Mixing it with that orangey mix here. Maybe even a touch of purple or a touch of Prussian. All right. Also, just keep the leaves pointing in different directions to make it interesting. All right, I don't know the full composition of this yet, but I do know I want it to be looking very natural. I don't know, maybe something like this? Yeah, all right. Never gonna be looking like, oh, that got a bit too blue. I was just gonna say, it's never gonna look like what you, like the exact leaf you're holding. And then, I don't know what did I grab? Did I grab a blue? That was too blue? Anyway, it's fine. Look, it all worked out. It is creating a nice depth of color. So you can totally do it, all right? You can mix on the paper. I believe Christy Rice was a really, really prolific, awesome YouTube teacher. She always talked about mixing on the paper rather than mixing on the palette. And I definitely taken her advice on that, and I love mixing on the paper a lot. Don't do it all the time, but definitely feel it's so fun to do that. Just dropping a bit of blue. Now you're welcome to make this as abstract or as realistic as you like. I think I'm kind of like feeling like I want to pay homage to the actual leaves, so that's why mine's feeling a little bit more, I don't know, realistic. All right, I want one that's coming up like this. I think that'll be nice. and really big. And I'm very inspired now to make this almost actual size, like, you know, to scale. That's what I was trying to say. Making this to scale. Oh, I love that this one has, this vein is very pink. It's got that pink reddish glow in the vein. Whoops. I hope I didn't move the camera too much. It's okay. So, ooh, it's a little bit too pink. But that's fine, because you know what? No one's gonna look at the original leaf and say, oh, that's not correct, or that's wrong. That's what I love about art. There is really no right or wrong. Oh, just love that one. Did you love that one? I love that one. Dropping a little bit more. Giving it just enough. Oh, this is a reddish brown one. Very autumny. And I've said this before on this channel, and I talk a lot about how painting nature is a devotional practice, because you are giving what you're observing, whether it's an actual real life reference or even a photograph. Of course, the more real life it is, the more powerful it is, I believe. But it's a practice in devotion, because you're giving it your full attention, you're observing it with no judgment, with a beautiful neutrality, and you are admiring its beauty and its curves and the way it was constructed. And when you do that to something or someone, that is devotional, that is a practice, that is prayer. I'm not a religious person, but I am a spiritual person, and I'm not afraid to say that here, because there's something deeper and bigger and more meaningful than just our, you know, day-to-day mundane lives, and a lot of it can be found in nature, right? I guess animism would be close to probably what I'm into, but yeah, we won't go too deep into that here. I just love to share that through the lens of art. Now, I have just turned this leaf around and I'm like, boom, this is the exact color I want on my next one. So I'm just gonna use this color, this leaf here, and maybe I can fit it somewhere. It feels like it would fit, maybe here. Maybe going off to the side or something. And this one is also very yellow ochre-y. With a hint of that orange. Ooh, that might be a bit bright. Tone it down, baby. Burnt umber, where are you? Burnt umber to the rescue, to give us its neutral earthiness. Thank you, burnt umber. Thank you. Yes. It is so crazy at this time of the year with all the year-end stuff, December. Well, actually, for me, I feel like I have scheduled less things in December than I did in November. So I feel like it's a nice slowing down period already, and I am very grateful that I could just have some time to paint and share. I was also like, you know, really stressed out about the YouTube scheduling because I've committed to once a week scheduling, and this video is actually due today. So I'm making this video on the day it's meant to go live tonight. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it on my terms and just chill, man, chill. The world's not gonna end. And picked these gum leaves yesterday, and I'm not gonna paint these gum leaves. All right, so this purple one here, it's a stronger, darker color, and I'm finding it hard to find a spot for it. And I think because I'm trying to fit the actual size, but you know what? That seems about right. Maybe this way or this way. Yeah, this way. I'm very excited to paint this one here. I'm gonna change up to a slightly larger brush. I was going on my size 6 silver black velvet there. I'm going back to the 8. And to get this color, it would be Dragon's Blood. I've got a piece of hair here on my palette. Let's bring it away. Okay, so Burnt Umber, Dragon's Blood, and a bit of this Mineral Violet, or even Dioxazine Purple. There we go. Burnt Umber, more Burnt Umber, earthy. Okay. Delicious. Okay, I'm gonna try to get that like bit broken, half-eaten vibe here at the end of this gum leaf. Just honor the actual reference that I have. I feel this line's a bit too straight. Just gonna. All right, let's not mix. Let's not. And maybe just a little lift to get a bit of highlight. All right, so it's not all dark. And then, I don't know, maybe we drop a bit of blue. Yep. Yay, I love that one. Love it. Love it. Okay, I feel like, as you can see, I don't know if you can see, but my paper has been, it's quite dirty here. It's got, I don't know what. I'm not that precious with how clean I keep my paper, so if it gets mucky and dirty, then so be it. But now it's bothering me a bit. All right, so I'm gonna have one come here, and I'm going to have it come behind this one here, right? So I haven't overlapped any leaf yet because I've not been that brave, but I'm feeling like this one's gonna be the first overlapping leaf. Rather underlapping. Really, it's not that scary. The more precious we are about our painting, the worse the painting will turn out. That's for me anyway. I mean, there has to be a level of intention and care for sure. But if you are really stressed out about the outcome, I think that's it. It's the stress of the outcome. Like, I need to be perfect. That's when I feel a lot of my paintings just aren't as free, and the movement is not as felt. Yeah, and then you just get too hung up on how it sort of looks and turns out, and that's just awful. It's just not fun, you know. Bit of dioxazine purple here, just with it in its true form, then creating a vein through the middle of this one, like that. Okay, I'm gonna take a step back and just pause and admire where I'm at with this painting. Maybe one more overlapping one. I'm feeling I don't want to crowd it too much, but I feel like, you know, one more here like this. I'm learning more about composition and flow in the painting, yada yada. And one thing I want to share that I've realized and learned along the way is, you know, we are orchestrating, artists are orchestrating how the eyes move across a painting. And we are the ones that are creating the lines. So, you know, everything you lay down, a mark, is a line, it's a direction, it's a flow. So if I put this one here, there would be a very obvious cross right in the center. So I'm just working out a way to, yeah, I think this is nice. Will that work though? Maybe this way. But then it's very in line with that one. And then I'm creating a cross here. What do I do? All right, I think there. All right, it'll be a tiny, tiny overlap, but not so much. Just do it, right? Don't think so much. Giving the stem a little bit of a darker. I need to take this plastic thing out of the bottom of this brush so I can, just use the back of it. Okay. Okay. Maybe a bit of that yellow in here. Love it. Okay. Are we done yet? This is a very quirky, curly one that could come in useful somewhere. Yeah. Let's do that one there. I like this one because it's more like a dark, rusty brown. You know? It's really, it's grumpy. It's like grandpa. It feels like a grandpa. It's like, go away. All right. Oh, yes, that was a nice mix. So it's Payne's Gray, Burnt Umber, Yellow Ochre. Bit too puddly here, and then just gonna stick that stem out. drop in a bit of, ooh, dropping a bit of this gamboge, which is a yellow. That's all right. And just really a dark mark here, just honoring this one dark little ring here, and then maybe a little bit more here. You know what? That's it. I think I'm happy with this composition here. I'm pretty happy, and we'll come back with some details when it's dry. All right, guys, so we are back. This is dry. I have actually added 2 more leaves when we were not filming. I added 1 more here, which is a purple one that went behind, and I added 1 more here because I just felt, yeah, I just needed to fill up those spaces, and I'm really happy with it now. So I've got all these leaves. I've got this painting, which at the moment looks a bit like chilies, right? From far, they don't really look like gum leaves, but I don't know. We'll see how we go. Okay, I'm gonna use my liner brush. This is an Art Basics size 1. It's beautiful and it can create very nice thin veiny lines. And I'm not gonna you know, detail this out too much because I feel like the wet on wet look that it has is really very beautiful already, but I don't know how much more I can sort of alleviate it to give it more of a sense of a really nice sense of coming alive a bit more. Now it all just seems a bit flat. So mixing a burnt umber and Payne's Gray mix, I'm just gonna give this first leaf a little line down the middle and some really gentle wispy veins. Super light-handed. I don't know what it will look like, so I am trying things out as I go. I'm going to just accentuate a little bit of that, those marks that you see, so that there is like another layer of these dark marks that you can get, just to bring to life a bit of the actual leaf. I'm gonna move on to this one here. Yeah, so I'm going to just also grab my size 6 silver black velvet to create a little bit of, you know, just more depth and layer to the marks that you might find on a gum leaf. And I think that layering, this wet on dry layering, will help give more definition to this beautiful homage and devotional to the gum leaves. I really like that right now. Okay, I think I'm just gonna keep going with that. Not so sure about the veins I put down on this one, because you know, if you study these gum leaves, the veins are actually not dark. They're like yellow, they might be red. So I'm just gonna really work with burnt umber and might mix it with a bit of yellow ochre or to lighten and darken it, just to vary the hue a little bit. Yes, okay, this is working. This is really working nicely. I'm trying my best to also make sure I don't block my painting with my hand when I am showing you, because I know I have one camera top down. Because, you know, if I used to have 2 cameras when I started this channel, but the editing just got too taxing, and I needed to simplify. So using a bit of Sap Green to just create a tiny bit of veins in that one. Not sure if that was the best idea, but it is so light, you know, it's all forgiven, all can be forgiven. All right, a bit of burnt umber into that mixture there. And just some burnt umber to this one. A bit more here. You know, giving definition to the painting has never been the most satisfying or fun part of painting, for me anyway, because I not find it a chore, but it's just less fun. However, that said, I am actually kind of like getting used to that and finding pleasure. That's right, pleasure. Okay, I'm gonna just add some veins to this dark one. And this is going to be quite a long video, so I might pause, not pause, I might speed up this bit because otherwise it's just gonna take forever. But basically, if you're painting along with me, it's really just getting some veins down, getting some details down, going over, just going over the wet on wet underneath with a bit of wet on dry so that everything gets a little definition and lift. That's it. All right, so I'm going to keep going and then I'll see you. We'll chat more when the painting is finished. Okay, so I am gonna stop right here, and I am really happy with how this painting turned out. It's just me picking leaves from my river walk and bringing them home and painting them. That's really it, and I do enjoy how it looks. I think it's pretty cool. It's got some really good marks and it's realistic enough for me to you know, feel into the feeling of these beautiful leaves, but I also kind of made it a little bit more colorful and vibrant than what it naturally looks like. So yeah. And thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe if you painted along, you can tag me on Instagram. Post your painting on your Instagram channel and tag me at Crystal Tan Art. I'd love to see your version of my painting. And also sign up for my mailing list below if you haven't already, to get all the latest updates on new videos, new courses, and anything that you'd like to have a look at in the background scenes, behind the scenes of my art life. So mailing list in the link description below. Otherwise, I am so happy you are here, and I'll see you in the next video.